So there's this guy out there I keep hearing about. From what I hear, he's the greatest shooter of all time by a long shot because there's simply never been anybody like him. He's got 2 MVPs, one of which made him the first unanimous MVP in history, and he's got 2 championships to go with those. He's got so many stupid 3-point records that at this point it's probably not even worth listing them all, yet this is the guy that people want me to believe is a choker in the NBA Finals. Something just doesn't add up there, so I'm gonna go do some digging, and while I do that, you guys could be downloading the Hardwood Amino app, and the app just has so many entertaining features for you. One I wanted to focus on today is the live layer feature that allows you to find the best place to interact with other members. It tells you exactly how many members are online, what they're currently doing, and you can click on the tab to take you to that action. As you can see here, I can easily find my favorite feature, which is the public chat room that allows you to interact with everybody in real time. Also, here's the awesome new feature called Avatar Chat. You can create your own avatar based on yourself, or you can upload a picture and the app will make the avatar based off of that. Here you can further customize it and make it look any way you'd like. And of course, there's plenty of other activities you can do, like vote on polls or take quizzes that are made from people in the community. In the year that I've been using Hardwood, they've only been getting better and more engaging by adding more features, so I definitely recommend this for you. If you'd like to download it, the links for the iOS and Android versions are going to be in both the comment section and in the description. Hope to see you there. Let's go back to the year 2015, which it really wasn't that long ago. It feels like it in NBA years because so much has changed, but we're not that far removed. This was the year Steph Curry just kind of instant transmissioned himself into the conversation of elite players. He was definitely a talent before that, but back in 2015, nobody was looking at the Warriors like, hey, that team's winning 60 games and Steph Curry is going to win the MVP. The kid's really never been healthy before, but he's about to win 2 straight and one of those is going to be unanimous. That would have been laughable and probably something you would expect to hear from Skip Bayless. Yet, here's Curry's stats for that year, and what sticks out the most is just how damn efficient he was. 45% on almost 8 3-point attempts per game, and just to put that into perspective, here are the 13 players this season averaging 7 3-point attempts or more, and as you can see, there's only 2 players not named Curry that are averaging 40% in that category. Of course, that hot shooting helped Golden State to the NBA Finals, and what this shows is that Curry basically took his production from the regular season and he dialed it up a notch in almost all 3 of these playoff series. Between all 3 series, they only lost 3 games and then they ran into Cleveland. This is where things get interesting. See, with the way Curry was playing coming into the finals, coupled with the fact that the Cavs were already short-handed without Kevin Love, the Warriors were expected to off the Cavs fairly easily, and those expectations only rose once Kyrie Irving broke his kneecap in overtime of Game 1. Instead, what ended up happening was the Warriors took 6 games to close them out. They were down 2 games to 1 at a certain point. Some short random white guy that nobody had ever heard of was credited with shutting down the MVP. The Cavs roster with 2 of its all-stars missing gave the Warriors a tougher time than they should have in general. Iguodala took home the finals MVP, and the Steph Curry NBA Finals choking narrative had already started to become a thing. But how? Here's some common sense things to take care of first. This is how he played that season, and this is how he played in the finals. Immediately what sticks out is that he was way less efficient in the finals, and of course that had a lot to do with the fact that Daly nearly killed himself chasing Curry around the court. I'm not kidding, by the way. After Game 3, I'm pretty sure it was, he wound up in a hospital from exhaustion. It's kind of like how Goku couldn't keep his Super Saiyan 3 form for too long. It was exactly like that. But let's examine what Daly did a little bit further. For Game 2, he really did put the clamps on Curry, and there's no arguing that. He couldn't get open, he couldn't dribble past him, hell, he couldn't get a drink of Gatorade without Daly being a couple of feet behind him. As a result in getting bullied all night, Curry ended up shooting 5 of 23 overall and 2 of 15 from 3, had 6 turnovers, and he airballed a crucial shot attempt late in the game. There's no argument to be had over this game because it's one of the worst performances by an MVP in a singles finals game ever. But in Game 3, it wasn't that Daly shut Steph Curry down because, well, he didn't. However, he continued to give Curry hell, which led to him only having 3 points in the first half, and that played a big part in the Warriors being down 20 by halftime. And while he was giving him hell, he also chipped in 20 points and a ton of crucial hustle plays, which, when you factor everything in, pretty much meant that he'd shut down Curry in one game and outplayed him in the next, which gave Cleveland a 2-1 lead that nobody thought they'd have. Sure, Steph eventually caught fire and ended up shooting 50% with 27 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists, but you could argue that his first half woes pretty much cost him the game, seeing as how they only lost by 5 points. And after that game, wait a minute, what's this? Game 4, Curry puts up 22 and 7 while shooting 47%, Warriors win by 21. Game 5, he notches 37, 7, and 4, shoots a staggering 56%. What the f? Hits multiple clutch daggers with Dele all over him, the same guy they said shut him down in that series, and they won that game by 13. Okay, this must be the one. Game 6, 25, 8, and 6. The Warriors win the championship in a game that they were winning by double digits for a good portion of the second half. Okay, it looks like the only game I didn't actually go over was game 1, and okay, there he had 26 and 8, he shot 50%, he scored in the clutch multiple times, and they won. Wait a minute, isn't this the series where people started to say that Curry was a choker in the finals? Well, what I just saw was an incredibly scrappy role player step in for Kyrie Irving in light of the injury, give everything he had in his soul to bother Steph Curry for 2 games, and then Curry rebounded for the rest of the series like an MVP does and helped Golden State wrap up the championship. Where exactly was the choke? Was it because he didn't win Finals MVP? It looks like there's 2 really good reasons he didn't win it. Reason number 1 was because Dellavedova showed him up for 2 games and tricked the world into thinking that the Cavs could actually win the whole thing. Reason number 2 was because Iguodala did an amazing job slowing LeBron James down when his number was called. I've seen this graphic floating around the internet since that series ended. It's a crazy ass stat line and you could never take away from this all-time performance, but a lot of the times it gets posted without any context. Those really high scoring numbers came at the expense of him shooting 39%. I get it that he had no other offensive help, but give Iggy some credit here. When he was on the floor, LeBron James shot 38% from the field. When he was off of it, LeBron James shot 44%. With Iguodala as the primary defender, LeBron shot 18 of 54 with 9 turnovers. Out of those 54 shots that LeBron took with Iggy guarding him, only 8 were uncontested. Of those contested shots, LeBron shot 11 of 46. To top this all off, Iggy averaged 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists, and shot 52% from the field while guarding the league's best player at his best. So if the argument is that Steph Curry choked in the 2015 finals because he had 2 extremely tough games against a role player and didn't win Finals MVP, that argument sounds shaky at best. Iguodala's defense on LeBron combined with his offensive contributions made him more than worthy of the Finals MVP. Do the Warriors win that series if LeBron was scoring even more points while shooting somewhere in the 40s for field goal percentage? Just to make that a little bit clearer, where he was shooting 24% on shots contested by Iggy, he was shooting 41% on shots contested by anyone else. So case closed on the 2015 finals. Steph Curry definitely didn't choke, there's not even a good argument that would prove that he did. But he also didn't play well enough to win the Finals MVP because Iggy was the true difference maker in that series, and that's what landed him the award and not Curry. Our journey through time takes us next to the year 2016, part 2 of the Cavs-Warriors rivalry. This time around, Golden State has clearly found another level. Steph Curry was pretty pissed by all the talk during that summer that said they wouldn't have been champions if the Cavaliers All-Stars weren't hurt, so from day one he set out to kill those talks. 2016 is probably always going to be the most impressive MVP season I've ever seen from a player. The things Curry was doing, I've never seen anyone comfortably and regularly pull up from multiple feet behind the line the way he was doing. His shooting was so lethal that he wasn't even needing to play in the fourth quarter of games because they were already over. When it was all said and done, Curry had upped his scoring average by 7 points to 30 points a game, he led the league in steals, and he shot 50% as a fucking guard. Do you know how difficult it is in today's NBA to shoot 50% if you're not a big man? Do you understand that that's even harder when you attempt more 3-pointers than 2s during the season? Unbelievable, yes, but unfortunately this was not the Curry we were going to get in the playoffs because almost as soon as they started, he was injured. In game 1 against the Rockets, he sprained his ankle or something. I don't know, I didn't see a sprain, and I just kinda always figured the basketball gods didn't think a healthy Curry in the playoffs would have been fair. But anyways, all I know is that after that sprain, the game just didn't look as easy as it had been for him up to that point. And it also probably really kinda didn't help that in the same game he came back from the sprain, his leg did a split where he was fortunate not to tear a ligament. Nonetheless, Golden State pushed on to the second straight NBA Finals, effortlessly took a 2-0 lead, and got themselves to the brink of a repeat by going up 3-1. Instead, fate took a cruel turn and the Warriors' perfect season was spoiled, and on top of that, it gave the critics yet another reason to reiterate that Steph Curry was a choker in the NBA Finals. Well, in all honesty, nobody could give a good fight to the critics over this specific Finals. It works like this. Nobody who says he choked in 2015 has a good argument because the facts show that that makes no damn sense. But in 2016, there's a conversation to be had. If I were to argue against it, which I'm not, but I'm saying if I did, I would tell you that Curry clearly wasn't the same player after those 2 injuries. Still, there was parts of the 2016 finals that you just can't explain them away. He airballed a 3 in a crucial moment of Game 7, made an extremely unnecessary behind-the-back pass in a crucial moment that cost him a much-needed possession, got locked up by Kevin Love, who saved all of his defensive effort from that season for that last 3-pointer. Curry only averaged 22 points a game on 40% shooting, which was far below his season average, and he turned the ball over nearly 4 times per game in that series. So I buy the fact that he was hurting, but some of those mistakes belong in the choke category, and saying he choked in the 2016 finals is still a valid point. However, it isn't a valid point to say he's a choker in the finals overall because of what happened next. The Warriors add KD to the core of the winningest team of all time. The Golden State Warriors coast through the playoffs and easily win the championship. One minor detail: yet again, Steph Curry does not win Finals MVP. And apparently one of the criteria for being an NBA superstar is that you must win the Finals MVP every time you make the finals, or you choked. Well, the burden of proof is on the critics this time. Where in the loving f*** did Steph Curry choke in last year's finals? Was it when he was busy almost averaging a triple-double throughout the series while shooting almost 45%? Was it when he was faking LeBron out of his shoes and getting to the rim with the kind of explosiveness he didn't have the year before? Was it when he had 13 rebounds to go with 26 points in a game Cleveland could have very easily won? Or wait, was it when he hit the mother of all daggers with Kyrie Irving all over him just moments before hosting his 2nd trophy in 3 years? Oh, okay, but he didn't win Finals MVP. He killed it, but yet again he falls short of the ultimate honor for that series. Well, okay, but Durant averaged 35, 8, and 5 for this series, almost put in 2 blocks a game, shot 47% from 3 and 55% overall, all while hitting the dagger in the one game Cleveland looked like they could have won. So did Steph Curry choke in that series, or did he play amazing basketball while his partner in crime played even more amazing basketball? I'll be waiting for the answer to that one, but from where I'm sitting, it looks like Steph Curry has a pretty decent finals track record in his 3 visits. There was a visit where he had one terrible game, one questionable game, and then had his way for the rest of the series until they won the championship. One bad series that I'd argue he wasn't fully healthy for, but nonetheless his mistakes did warrant that criticism. Then he came back to have his best series yet that visually is one of the most pleasing you could watch from a point guard. For anyone not keeping count at home, that means out of 3 series he played well in 2 of them. That also means that he's actually showed up for a majority of his final series, therefore there's not even any logic in the argument that he chokes in the finals. This choking narrative is what you call a blanket statement. In this case, critics are taking 1.5 bad games from 2015 and pretty much all of 2016 to say, hey, look at this guy, he doesn't show up on the big stage. When the reality is that you can prove he's played well more times than not in the NBA Finals. Both times he lost the Finals MVP, there was simply more deserving players on his team, the same way it was when Kobe kept losing Finals MVP to Shaq. I'm not comparing Iggy or KD to Shaq. However, what Kobe and Steph have in common is that they played well enough to win Finals MVP most of the time when there was just someone else making a more significant difference than they were. So in 2 of the 3 finals he showed up in so far, he played well. No, he didn't win Finals MVP, but if you just look at that being unbiased, it's totally justified. And with that, I leave you with another dismantled, flawed argument to lay to rest, never to be heard from again until Steph Curry actually has another bad final series. Until then, open your eyes, quit falling for bandwagon hate, and enjoy the greatest shooter of all time on the biggest stage of all time.
Way downtown, bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!